Hey, vinyl community, how's it going? So lately, if you're in the vinyl community, you had to have been under a rock if you are not aware of the controversy surrounding Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab and the revelation this week that they had been mastering their disc using direct stream digital sources. Now, what does it all mean? If you're like many people who are not audiophiles, you're probably scratching your head thinking, I don't understand. What does it mean, analog versus digital? It seems like very complicated. So I am here to try and put it in perspective, to try to make it a little more understandable why people are upset. What does it mean? Digital versus analog, how does it all happen? So first of all, I'm not an audiophile. I will make that confession straight away. But the way I look at it, audiophiles are kind of like the people who buy organic produce or anything organic at their local farmer's market or their local grocery store. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. You've either run into these people at parties or they're your neighbors, maybe they're even your family members, but they have this hippy-dippy, holier-than-thou attitude. I only buy locally sourced, farm-fresh, farm-to-table produce and groceries. Is it better than the regular food that you buy? Debatable. But I will tell you, you're going to pay a lot more for organic food. And you have these people who are hippies, hipsters, who like to pay a ton of money for organic food. And they will insist that it's healthier, that it's better, that it tastes better. But nonetheless, the same way with audiophiles, they tend to insist that analog is the only way to go, that if something is not sourced from the original analog tape, it is garbage and you shouldn't be listening to it. So what does it all mean? Okay, so basically, copying sound from magnetic tape to LP is a very complicated process. And as the cost of pressing records increased, back in the late 60s, early 70s, many record labels were cutting costs by using recycled materials to cut a more lightweight disc. However, what you get with that is you get a lot of surface noise, you get a lot of pops, you get a lot of clicks. It's not as good of a mastering process, not as good as a pressing process. Now, in 1977, Mobile Fidelity Sound Labs began a process whereby they would take the original master tape and they would cut it to disc. But the lathe that is cutting the disc would move at half speed. Now that is called a half-speed master. And what Mobile Fidelity found is when they used this process, they were able to charge an exorbitant amount for records. Made perfect sense from a business model standpoint. Absolutely a great way to do business. Now, do the records sound better? People will tell you they sound amazing as they are shoveling hundreds of dollars out for these records. Since that time, you have the whole digital remastering, which has come to be the industry standard, as it were. Now, how is that different? Well, you hear a lot of different terms if you've ever watched any audiophile videos, and what does it all mean? So I want to break it down, make it easy for you to understand. And also, what are you buying when you see these labels, when you see them advertised as half-speed masters or digital remasters or one step? What does it all mean? So what is the process for MoFi's Ultradisc one step? So basically what you are doing is you are taking your wallet, you are transferring hundreds of dollars from your wallet or your bank account, and that money is being transferred over to MoFi. Now, how is that different from analog productions, their UHQR series? Well, when you are purchasing a UHQR analog production album, what is happening is you are taking the money out of your wallet or your bank account, and those funds are transferring over to Analog Productions, and Analog Productions is making a lot of money. Now, what is direct stream digital? What does that all mean? Well, with direct stream digital, what happens is you are taking the money out of your wallet. It is being transferred over to MoFi. So it's not a lot of difference. The money is still going from your wallet to MoFi, or going from your wallet to Analog Productions, whether that's Half Speed Master, whether that's a one-step, whether that's a direct stream digital. Those hundreds of dollars are going from your wallet, your bank account, being transferred, could be digitally, could be you handing the money physically to your record retailer, and then eventually MoFi makes that money and gets reasonably wealthy. So I've got a couple records here that everybody thought were analog, but they're not. They were sourced from digital. First one is the wrestling album, Captain and Tennille, Katrina and the Waves, and Yanni. So I hope I've made this clear. There's still going to be controversy, but to my way of thinking, it's whatever sounds best to you when you put it on your turntable, when you put it in your CD player. Do you prefer CDs? Do you prefer records? You might be able to prefer both. There may be some records that sound better than CDs. There may be some CDs that sound better than records. But you ultimately are the one to judge. Thank you.